I wish they would stop shitting up Soul Calibur, though. Jesus Christ. You know, that franchise is pretty much dead now. They rammed it so fucking far into the ground, and that's a shame, because it was damn good for a while.
I feel like with Soul Calibur, they were just putting out too many.
Yeah.
Too quickly. And they're suddenly, like, the games didn't really differentiate from one another, and then you have to start looking at quality control.
And then fucking 5 happened, and too much changed at once, and it was like, what the fuck is this? Now, of course, the big problem. I don't know how they fucking straddled this tightrope, but they've somehow managed to find a way. None of the games really changed from one another in terms of, you know, functionality and so forth. There was never any major gameplay elements that I can remember being added, like, oh, we have this new gimmicky game mechanic. There was never any of that. But the one thing Namco could not do is leave the fucking movesets alone. They could not, for the life of you, could tie their fucking hands behind their back. They would find a way. They would reprogram the fucking movesets mentally. I have no goddamn idea, but you're never going to establish a viable fighting game franchise if you're constantly changing the movesets that much.
Oh, yeah.
From game to game, Mitsurugi did not play the fucking same, which is bullshit, because you can't. Why do you think Street Fighter works? Because, man, quarter circle forward, in punch, it's fucking the fireball. You know, the goddamn Shoryuken motion, everyone has it embedded in their brain. You're never going to have that if you're constantly fucking updating the movesets.
Oh, yeah, dude, there's... Mitsurugi's a good example. One that I feel just... It got so out of control, it was like a different character, was Raphael. Whenever I saw his moves, I was just like, oh, okay. And I'm trying... Keep in mind, he was... I mean, people can be like, oh, he's cheeseball. I don't give a fuck. He's awesome as shit.
He is badass.
But, and his... I just liked him because I was like, you know why I like him? I can keep a character on the fucking ground permanently. They won't get up. If I knock you down once, that's pretty much it. But they change shit up so often with them. I'm just like, please stop. I'll give you $1, an extra $1 to just stop that.
It is the same shit to Ivy. You know, I'm more of an Ivy player, and oh my fucking god, they could not leave her alone. They would not leave her the fuck alone. And the worst part still is you'd play like 3. 3 wasn't that different from 2. But, like, really good example, Ivy had a couple really big, huge damage throws in number 2, which was a little broken. I can understand them wanting to balance that. But in 3, they didn't even balance them. They do just about the same amount of damage, but they just changed the inputs. She has the same basic goddamn moveset. They just changed the inputs for some reason. Oh, now you have to push this random conglomeration of fucking bullshit buttons. It was nonsense. You can't design games that way. And I think Namco learned that progressively over the course of Soul Calibur. Like, 4 did well, I think mainly because of the crossover with Star Wars and shit. But 5 would absolutely shit the bed. And I think a lot of that had to do with it was the cumulative effect of changing the game, you know, just tweaking every single character until the point where now you've removed half of the cast and they don't play the same. The few that are still there don't play the goddamn same. So you've got very little left to market to the hardcore Soul Calibur fanboys, of which I used to be one. So,
it's one of those things. I just hope. There's always hope, because it's not like we're talking about a completely incompetent development team. We know that they know what the fuck they're doing. It's just that they get stupid fucking ideas.
We're gonna learn a lot from Tekken, the new Tekken. If Tekken gets its shit right, because the last one was a little but if Tekken gets its shit right this time, there might be hope for Soul Calibur and Namco in general.
I mean, Namco has a shit ton of IPs under their belt, a lot of which they don't use, admittedly, and they just sit there and they waste away. I mean, the last time that they used Pac-Man on a fucking console is was it Pac-Man and the Ghost Show? Fuck, I've actually got it over here. Hold on. Pac-Man and the Pac-Man the Ghostly Adventures.
The Ghostly Adventures.
So, little kids show they made into a platforming game. If you played Pac-Man World, then you already know what to expect. But the Pac-Man World games were really, really good platforming games. They were just fun. They weren't doing anything different, but they weren't trying to. They were just fun-ass games. Ghostly Adventure is the same exact thing, except for with obnoxious voice acting because of the show. And just more of the same. But that was the last time they did anything with it, and I heard 0 fucking people chirp about it. 0. Like, not a single motherfucker. Maybe it's because of the tie-in to the show, but at the same point, I don't think most people even know what the fuck it is that are above the age of 10.
Yeah.
So that, and the only reason I do, because I'm a fucking dad and uncle, so I know about that shit, and I've had to have it on my television. It is horrible, by the way. I do not like it. It is a bad show. Stupid shit. Needs to be punched. I feel bad because now this dude dies, and we're just like, hey, you know what, Namco, get your shit together, bitch. The entire time. I love you, Namco. I feel like, you've earned some of the bruises on your face.